Okay, hello. My name is Zachary, and today I'm going to be talking about something I probably should have made a video on a year or two ago, but it is Sorceress' ability to iframe indefinitely. At least that's what other people like to say who haven't played the class or don't understand the way it works. But I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you. We're going to break it down, and we're going to kind of give you an idea on how it is that you can do that little, iframing forever. Okay. So how do Sorcs keep iframing when their stamina is empty? Well, Sorc has a resource called Shards of Darkness. Okay, and I'm gonna break down a little bit later on how it works with movement. But let's just speak on shards first. So they're a natural resource. It's something that we gain over time by itself. Just by being, we gain shards. Okay. We can also consume the shards. We can consume up to 30. And that'll give us an AP buff of 30 AP. That's our self buff. It also goes to teammates. Super cool. Nice. Awesome. Okay. That only consumes 30, but we have a maximum of 40. And as you can see, it'll just slowly go up over time. Okay. So one thing I want to mention before I move on from the AP buff is that consuming shards isn't the only way to grant this AP buff. Now in that case, that's 30 shards, 30 AP, 20 seconds. That's the buff when you consume it. Okay, you can also get it from using abilities that also consume shards. So think of using the charge on Grim or the extra attack on Violation. Both of those abilities will consume 10 shards, and what they're going to grant you is 10 AP. Okay, now that 30 AP buff, it doesn't stack if you use these. However, if you haven't consumed shards and you just use Grim, you're going to get 10 AP. Then if you go and you use the second part of Violation, you'll get another 10 AP. So that'll equal to 20 AP. And then if you use Grim again, there's 30. It caps it out. There's your 30 AP. The good thing about this, though, is let's say you go into a fight or whatever and you consume the shards for the 30 AP, and then you're in the fight. Remember, that buff lasts for 20 seconds. If you happen to go and use the charge ability on Grim and consume 10 shards, what this does is it resets that timer. So let's say your buff's at 10 seconds, it goes back up to 20 seconds and keeps it at 30 AP. Just wanted to keep that in mind in case you were curious. Now, there are other ways to get shards, and that would be any skill in our pre-awakening kit as well as our rebombs. So when hitting a target such as this one, you're going to see I'm going to consume the shards again. You're going to see that I'm at 7. If I hit them just with Midnight Singer, see how my shards are going to go up, and it varies based on skills. So let's say I hit a target here with the DOD or Dream of Doom, my shards are now maxed out at 40. So based on the skill or ability you use will determine how many shards you get back. It varies. It also can depend on how many opponents you hit. So like, let's say I hit somebody with one of my rebombs, which is my Shift Z rebomb. We should be far enough in the game where we understand, but Engulfing Shadow, let's say I hit 1 to 2 people with this, it'll go up more shards than what it does already. So, which is pretty cool. But as the game's progressed, they've given us a lot more options as far as getting shards back. So our new, the Tendril Suck skill, will almost max out shards if you full cast it on just one person. All of our rebombs will give us shards back. As you can see, I got 14 from that. It just depends on what ability you use, but all pre-awakening skills will give shards back. It doesn't matter what the skill is. If you hit somebody with anything in our pre-awakening tree, it will give you shards back. Now, there's also a skill that we get called Dark Trade. This will consume HP, and it'll also max out our shards. So let's say I consume my shards right here. I'm at 9. If I use Dark Trade, it'll max my shards out to 40. So another way for us to get quick shards back. Dark Trade's actually super helpful because in a lot of times you can just iframe cancel it. So you can cancel, I have it on hotbar, but I'll hit 3 and then I'll iframe and you won't even see me cast it. So, and I'm maxed out on shards there. All right, now let's talk about the good stuff. So first things first is I want to talk about how we use shards in our awakening tree. And then I want to talk about how our shards are used for iframes. I'm going to save the best for last, okay? So with Sorc, every time we use Grim, when we charge it, I'm sure you guys have seen, like, we'll cast Grim, and then you'll see, like, if you're watching somebody play, you'll see the little space bar at the bottom, and it'll charge up. That consumes 10 shards. Every single time we cast it that way, it consumes 10 shards. So if I use Grim and I use space, there's 10 shards gone. When I double Nightmare, so let's say I use Nightmare, I come out, and then if I go into Requiem, same thing, 10 shards are consumed. Our E buff, also on consumption, will give us full shards. So as you can see, I went from 11 to 40 just on consumption debuff. That is another way for us to get shards. We don't get it from Z-buff, unfortunately, if only, but we do get it from the E-buff. In Awakening, for Violation, when we go to use the second part of Bio, it does use 10 shards. So now, let's get into the good stuff. So let's talk about iframing and how shards work for Sorks to move, quote unquote, indefinitely. Okay, I just want to make it clear before I start talking about this that Sorks do not iframe permanently. I showed you how to get shards using abilities and pre-awakening, whether they're SA or whatever. We have to use those abilities in order to upkeep our shards. Okay, but now let's break down how they work with iframes. Okay, there's a skill in our tree called Crow Food. Okay, what Crow Food does, the second tier is for Stormy Crow, the first tier is for the regular iframe. But what this does is it consumes Shards of Darkness to use Night Crow if we're lacking stamina. So every time we're out of stamina, what's going to happen, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it for you right now. What's going to happen is we are going to consume shards for every iframe. Okay, so as you can see, I'm consuming shards and I'm out. All right, the way the distribution works is for every 10 shards, you get one more Night Crow or iframe. Okay, so what that means, 40 divided by 4, or sorry, 40 divided by 10, we have 4 extra iframes. All right, that is not permanent movement. However, as I talked about before, we have skills in our skill tree that are pretty quick, pretty fast, right? You cancel it pretty quick. You don't even see it. Like iframe DOD, pretty quick. 35 shards. There's 3 more iframes. Hitting somebody when you have no shards with engulfing. There's 20. There's 2 more iframes. And that's how Sorks keep moving. So the reason why this class is so annoying when you're fighting against it, and the reason why you feel like they are constantly iframing, is because you, the player, you keep going into super armor, you keep allowing us to hit you, and you keep allowing us to get shards back. And that is how we keep moving and we keep iframing. Okay? Sorks benefit from classes that like to trade us. It keeps our shards up and it keeps us full. When we fight classes that either distance themselves, constantly run away, or play very passive, it limits us heavily. So think of something like a Meiwa or a Musa. The easiest way to combat a Sork and to win is to fight long enough for them to not have a stamina bar and then disengage so they have to waste their shard resources. So our class benefits on other players making mistakes, such as trying to trade us, trying to chase us, and giving us that ability to just keep on moving. Because eventually your stamina bar is going to run out. Eventually you're going to be huffing and puffing, okay? But because you chased after us, we're able to keep on moving, okay? I have some clips I'm going to go ahead and show. After this, Neon's going to do his whole little B-roll. He's going to do his thing. I hope that clears things up. I hope that breaks things down. I hope it makes sense. So no, we are not permanently an iframe. Are we annoying? Yes. Is this a little busted? That's up to you to decide. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comments, concerned, if I forgot anything, go ahead and leave me below. This is kind of like a one-take video. Neon's gonna have to come through and chop it up. I'm not real good at this stuff, so just be warned on that. But we're gonna go ahead and showcase a clip. I think I've got like a minute long, 30 seconds to a minute long of me just fighting in a ball. I'm not really doing much. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Sork doesn't do a lot in T1s, but I'm able to just stay active because of shards, and then of course our options for movement and Awakening 2. But yeah, and then I'm back. But I wanted you to know this first clip, I'm not really fighting in a ball fight, but it's a good showcase. I have this really bad habit, like it's a really bad habit of engaging in fights with no stamina, and the only reason I'm able to do that is because of shards, right? But you're gonna see this. I think I stay moving without any issues for like a minute and a half, and you'll see me moving around. I'm fighting a warrior and a striker and somebody else, and then I move to the hill, and then I move down. I end up diving the ball, get CC'd by elephants. They need to be nerfed. And then I go and I hit a shy, and then I disengage, re-engage. You'll just see me moving around doing a lot of things, and I'm gonna have no stamina almost the entire time. So it's just a good showcase on that. This is how, like, I mean, I don't know how many people do this, but this is how Sorks stay moving, right? I mean, this is just it. I could have just put my weapon away and walked and gained stamina back, but instead I like to just be Zachary. So, okay. This next clip's real similar to the first one. You're going to see me, unfortunately, doing a whole lot of nothing. This is a T2, and I don't hit caps whatsoever. If you know the story behind that, just get a tattoo. But you're going to see me engage, disengage, engage, disengage. And to be honest, I'm not doing anything, right? Like, I'm not really doing a whole lot. I get deleted, like, really quick. I think I have, like, 4 or 5k HP, maybe 6. It's not a lot. But it just shows that I just keep on moving. Like the class just doesn't slow down. If I was better, I would have done more. And if we were getting smoked by Shameless, I mean, it wouldn't have felt like I was just being a CC bot the whole time. But this war was rough because almost every single one of our fights, like we got wiped by Shameless. But you'll see that I just keep moving. The whole time. It doesn't matter what situation gets put me in. When the Drak comes and attacks me, when I'm fighting the Zerker, the DK, the Striker, when I dive the ball and when I disengage the ball, like I just keep on moving. All right, last clip, I promise. This one's a really good showcase because you're going to see me. Unfortunately, in all these clips, I'm not doing a whole lot. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Sork damage sucks, right? It's terrible. But you're going to see me get off my horse, dive the ball that's sitting on top of the flag. You're going to see me chase them down the hill. You're going to see me fight. You're going to see me go in a nightmare. Woo, it's actually a nightmare. Cute. And you're going to see me pop out. You're going to see me continue fight. Candace is going to engage. You're going to see me continue to fight, chase. You're going to see me get all the way back, and then I'm going to get CC'd because I didn't have any shards or stam, and I threw DOD and couldn't cancel it. But it's just a go that Sork has potential to never slow down, right? It can just, because of shards, like we can just keep going as long as shards are there and an enemy's there, or a horse or an object or whatever something we can hit. As long as there's something there, like Sork can keep on moving. So yeah, if you want to see better clips, I mean, I did just get back to the game, so I am getting better. But I stream every day over at I'll say I stream pretty much every day over at twitch.tv/Zachary. I'll put a link down on my Discord below. That's kind of when I post when I'm going live. And yeah, that's it. I'm sorry the clips aren't as like as you thought they would be, but this is the majority of what Sork ends up doing nowadays, just because the damage is so low. So or at least in T1s. The clip before this one was a T2. Yeah, and I mean, I was doing damage before split damage happened. But yeah. Anyway, enjoy the clips. Neon did his thing. Thank you guys. If you guys want more videos like this, like I said, let me know. Okay, bye.